project मिला है हम लोगों को, and in this whole design thinking process, the first step is define. हम लोगों को पहले सबसे क्या करना है कि we need to define what is the problem, right? So here it's the establishing what the problem is, and then afterwards we will try to understand what the client is asking for. क्या problem को किस प्रकार वो हल चाह रहे हैं. So we need to, while talk to our client, we need to do different discussions, and then we have to come up with the solutions afterwards in the next processes. But first of all, in this stage, in define stage, we need to understand what the client is asking for, and also we need to while manage what are the expectations of the client. हम लोगों को आखिरकार करना क्या है. मैं जैसे उदाहरण दे रहा था कि if you are doing a packaging, हम लोग अगर कोई पैकेजिंग डिजाइन कर रहे हैं और पैकेजिंग फॉर एनी स्पेसिफिक लिक्विड मटेरियल, राइट, तो उसमें आर वी यूजिंग एनी पेपर मटेरियल और आर वी यूजिंग टेट्रा पैक. फॉर एनी फ्रूट जूस क्लाइंट चाह रहे हैं कि विल यूज प्लास्टिक मटेरियल फॉर देयर पैकेजिंग. But with the mutual conversation here only, we'll sit with the client and we'll try to point out the specific point, that is, if we use plastic for the fruit juice, then the durability and all to protect that particular material, that product, it's very it's not possible literally. So we need to use Tetra Pak, which have 7 layers and which is good for that particular product. And for the packaging, we need to select Tetra Pak, and on the basis of that, we are going to step forward. So here we are going to define what's the problem, what we are doing, and what are the flaws, and what are the things that we are going to go ahead with, right? So this is all about defining the problem. So कोई design करने से पहले we need to define first. I think hope this solve your problem, or if you have any confusion still, you can raise your hand or you can just unmute yourself and tell. Is it fine?
Clear, sir.
Okay, fine. So let's go to the next one. This is we call research. So here research is collecting background information. So here for any problem solving, we need to do a background research. So once the brief has been defined and agreed, a designer start to search for informations related with that particular problem. So that can be fed into creative process at ideate stage. So ideate करने से पहले we need to gather some information related with that particular problem, right? So this research can either be quantitative with hard statistical numbers. So in different agencies and different design studios, they have dedicated members, they have dedicated team who works on for the research part, right? So research के लिए they used to gather statistical numbers. अगर we are kind of designing a packaging, suppose Tropicana fruit juice के लिए हम लोग packaging बना रहे हैं. So what are the competitors? We need to gather information related with the competitors, like real fruit juice unka hardcore competitor hai. Then we need to gather information, and also we need to fix the target user group or the target audience, and also we also need to think about the group of buyers, consumers, their demographical situations, and also it's mostly divided into primary research and secondary research. So primary source of research is all about feedback generated during the learning phase of project previously undertaken. So if you have already done one packaging design earlier, so we can take all those data and we can consider it for our new project. Suppose हम लोग पहले एक fruit juice का मानिए कि fruity के लिए हम लोग packaging कर लिए हैं पहले, and we have some data with us, right? So in the primary research, what we'll do, we will try to generate all those previous undertaking the same or the similar client के लिए हम लोग जो भी data gathered किए हैं, and obviously we have some feedbacks provided at a starting point. So we will try to work together with the previous data and the feedback after the design, our previous design. And secondary data is the information often from general secondary sources like consumer market research report, and that provides a demographic breakdown and while historic performance of given market segmentation. These all are terms related with marketing. So these are the few things that we need to decide ki kaun se we are going to design the packaging for which geographical area, kaun se part ke liye hai, and this is for the which age group in general. And also we need to think about the market segments. Also we need to a clear view of how a market is structured. So these are the few things that we will try to do in research part here. Okay, so this is the next step. After ideate, we will do a research for that particular problem, and then afterwards, this is very important thing. This is ideate. So here it's a creating a potential solution. So what are the checklists that we need to understand the brief? हम लोग पहले क्या brief है, क्या what's the problem हम लोगों को पहले समझना है, and then हम लोगों को ये देखना है कि do you have sufficient research information? आपके पास, हम लोग जो इससे पहले जो प्रोसेस था रिसर्च किए थे उस प्रॉब्लम के जो 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 प्रॉब्लम्स हैं उसके बारे में हम लोग जो रिसर्च किए हैं, do we need to check that do we have sufficient research information with us, and afterwards which method we will use for idea generation. So there are many methods. I'll going to discuss elaborately about what are the different way to generate ideas, right? So while during the idea state, the design team, or if it's individual projects, the designer draws on the research gathered and then constraint established during the defined stage, and afterwards the information is used to create idea with which to kind of tackle the design brief. In this stage only we try to go through with the design brief, and also we go through with our research, and then afterwards we step into the idea generation. So there are many ideation methods including brainstorming. There is one method called brainstorming or sketching, uh, and also through while mind mapping we used to come up with some ideas. So these are the few methods to generate ideas, and also choosing which method to use obviously depend on factors such as how much money is available for this project of to solve our problem, right? So the defined stage only we will try to kind of fix that what's our budget. मानिए कि कोई भी अब प्रोजेक्ट कर रहे हैं, if it's our science project or literature project, we are trying to publish few poems of Tagore, right, in our small project, and we want to also do some documentation with contemporary writer and a kind of relationship with a contemporary writer with the works with the Tagore, and then for that we need to fix a specific टाइम पीरियड. हम लोगों को एक टाइम पीरियड फिक्स करना है. along with time period we also need to fix the budget, and then afterwards we go ahead with this stage, that is a design, whether it's a ideate stage, which ideation method we will use, whether we are going to use mind mapping or brainstorming method, and then afterwards there are different kind of levels in the ideations. So afterwards I will come to this ideation stage. So after the ideate state, it's come the प्रोटोटाइप. सो हम लोग पहले आइडिएट कर लिए हैं कैसा क्या करना है, एंड विथ अवर creativity, with our creative thoughts, we come up with a kind of one solutions, but we need to kind of give a practical formation of that particular solution of that problem, right? So prototype में क्या होता है कि the ideate state generates a variety of potential solutions to the design brief. So prior to the selection से पहले means हम लोगों के पास plan A है, plan B है, plan C है for that particular problem, right? So now here we will try to kind of give a prototype form, means resolving solution will give a 3D form. So before we do the selections, means the next step is making choices. So before we make choices, here we will try to give a prototype form. We will select well, idea number 1 or idea 2 or idea 3, and then it may be also necessary to further work up on the most promising of these solutions. So in this way, we can easily select which one we want to go ahead with the idea 1 or with idea 2. And also it allow a particular aspects to be tested and will provide a better basis of comparison at the selection stage. In this stage only we can easily, while if prototype is in front of us, suppose फॉर अ चेयर हम लोग एक चेयर डिजाइन कर रहे हैं और सपोज वन वाटर बॉटल वी हैव डिजाइन वन प्रोडक्ट डिजाइन दैट इज वन वाटर बॉटल एंड वी हैव डिफरेंट शेप्स right and if the prototype is in front of us then it will be easily well it will be very easy for us to choose to pick any particular design. So prototype can be used to test technical feasibility of a design idea or to see whether it's work as a physical object, right? So prototype can also test the visual aspect of the design. Suppose हम लोग कुछ graphics उस water bottle में बना रहे हैं. So if we have the prototype in front of us, then it will be more easier for us कि वो graphic कि ज़्यादा छोटा लग रहा है ना, it will be a little bigger or it looks very tricky or tangy with that particular bottle. So prototype should be in front of us, and then afterwards a prototype can also test the visual aspect of the design by presenting that would be produced, and also prototype give the design team and the client ability to visualize and handle a design concept to get an idea of its physical presence and tactile qualities. So uh, the every product design have they're tactile in nature, right? So we can easily while touch the particular product and we can easily feel that whether the product quality or the shape is perfectly fine for according to the design brief or the way that we want to go towards. And it's totally depend on the material that we are using, but obviously we don't use actual material. So for example आप बहुत जन देखे होंगे शायद any architectural models, whiteboards are often used to give three-dimensional visualization. So ऐसा नहीं है कि we are using bricks and cements to give a prototype look of any architectural building, but to just have a feel of the particular 3D look, we use some cardboards or whiteboards for the architectural building, and then we visualize, yeah, this will be the overall shape and this will be the overall dimension of the architectural building. So this is all about prototype. So till now, do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Anybody? Okay, so it's fine
No,
for
sir.
you till prototype. So first of all, define, and then research, and then ideate, and then prototype. So okay, so let's go to the next one, that is making choice. Huh? So this is stage 5. This is the step we call select. Now we have prototype with us. We have prototype in front of us. Now it's a step. We need to select, maybe we have 3 or 4 prototypes. So now this is the well step or the जो घड़ी आए हैं कि we need to select any one design out of maybe 3 or 4 designs. So these are the few checklists we need to check, that whether does the design meet the defined needs of the brief, whether it's completely while kind of while solving every problem of that particular uh, according to the design brief. Does the design resonate with the target audience? हम लोग जिस target audience के लिए ये design किए हैं, does it resonate with the target audience, or whether the design be produced on time and on budget? So we have also the list, and we also have the format of the budget list, that whether this material is, well, we can produce, if you're going to use a specific material, so does the budget permits. And also we will think about the factors, take into well, account that, and also we will show different prototype to our clients, and afterwards also we need to, while get a proposal, means final approval from our client. So in general, in the prototype stage, we in general we used to send different project proposal to our clients, and then afterwards we get a confirmation from the client, and now we, this is overall the choice or select step. And here the select stage is the point at which one of the proposed design solutions, and the key decision is, while creating, whether it's fits for the purpose, and also it's communicate to the target audience to achieve those aims. These are the very few important things that we have to take care of. And also, which one is the selected one, selected design is typically uh, closely meet with the design brief or a significant part of it. Or we can see that whether, for example, yeah, yeah. So, for example, um, if you are going any for a particular design which doesn't suits with the design brief, so we can do some. You can stop annotating here. Here, there are some marks. So, is it request you not to annotate here? Yeah, thanks. So, as per our budgets, we can do a little addition and alteration in this stage. So this is stage we call select, and then afterwards, if we go to the um, if you go to the next stage, it is implementation. So here implementation is, uh, the designer passes the design artwork and format to specific uh, production house. Production in terms of, like, if we are, while designing any communication design, means any printable format, we will send it to printer or web builder or fabricator. So if we are designing any website, we'll send it to web designer, web builder who is doing the coding and all. And this movement actually provides a good opportunity to confirm the production specification. Here we will get the print quality. So, and we'll check that whether your expectation fulfilled or not. And also, uh, printer is usually given some leeway to account for set up the different steps. So suppose we have selected that we want to go for the UV die cut, but it's not working. Then we will shift towards a manual die cut. Or else we can, if we select a printing mode, suppose offset print, but offset print is not working because the color looks very dull. So now this is the stage where we do the implementation, and afterwards we can shift our, well, printing technology. We can shift from offset to maybe silk screen, so that we can get a vibrant and dark colors. So this is the implementation stage where we, in general, we obviously, suppose if you are about to publish 100 flyers or 100 brochures, then obviously we'll print lesser quantity, for example 10 to 20, so that we can have, well, we can also distribute among our peers, so that we can receive a constructive feedback from their side, and afterwards we can do a little additional alteration on that. This is the, well, implementation of our idea. And here we will kind of finalize and finalize our design. So in terms of, suppose web design, if already we have done our web banners, each pages, and then if it's being published, then we will get to know that, yeah, this is a little smaller, the logo needs to be a little bigger, the call to action buttons needs to be on the right hand side, it is very dull, we need to little bit make it bigger size. So these are the few things. Then we'll get to understand. We'll understand when we'll implement it. So implementation is also very much important. Now the last stage we called learn, that is obtaining feedback. So here it involves learning from what has happened throughout the design process. And this is the, well, I can say feedback stage, during which the client and design agency or any well, design studio might seek to identify what worked well and where is the room for improvement. So uh, following the implementation, uh, mostly the client may begin to look for or receive feedback on how the product has been received by the target audience. So we will receive feedback from the client also. And also it's also beneficial a design firm to look how the audience responded to a particular design. So feedback generation is very much important, and it should be done at the end of the process, and it's a learning opportunity for future projects. So as I said, that during the research part, the primary research, we in general we used to pull out all the past projects and past feedbacks, and then we used to consider, we used to, well, think about what are the flaws and what are the, well, negative and positive points, and then we used to add, yeah, these are the things that we need to change or we need to implement. And any problem with the design may have been because of, well, inadequate in the brief or lack of understanding of the key points. But the feedback process, designers and clients build up a, well, shared understanding over time and serves to facilitate the overall product of increasing optimal solution in the future. So this is very much important stage. It's not like that, yeah, we get the design brief, we ideate, and then we did one prototype, and afterwards we do the implementation, and afterwards we didn't receive any feedback. So this is obviously very important stage of any design thinking. So design thinking cannot be end without obtaining feedback at the end of the project, at the end of the implementation. So after implementation, we need to gather feedback from client, from target audience, from that particular studio, or the company or the organization that we are working for. Okay, so this is all about design thinking, the 7 steps. So still here, you have any questions? Yes or no?
सर मैं थोड़ा लेट हो गया था।
हाँ
स्टेज
जी, हाँ जी,
वन
हाँ
और
जी,
स्टेज
बताइए।
टू को एक बार फिर से डिफाइन कर दीजिए, स्टेज थ्री तक।
फिर से दोहराइएगा प्लीज, क्या क्या बोल रहे हैं, मैं सुन नहीं पाया आपको।
सर सर मैं थोड़ा लेट हो गया था
हाँ
सर।
जी, हाँ जी।
स्टेज वन और स्टेज टू में क्या बताया था आपने?
हाँ, स्टेज 1 है कि अच्छा, मैं जाता हूँ पहले इसमें। तो कोई भी डिजाइन, कोई भी प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करने के लिए पहले देर इज वेरी फर्स्ट स्टेज दैट वी नीड टू गो थ्रू विद, दैट इज एस्टेब्लिशिंग व्हाट द प्रॉब्लम इज। हम लोगों को पहले ये जानना है कि प्रॉब्लम क्या है। तो प्रॉब्लम, जैसे अगर हम लोगों को डिजाइनर कह रहे हैं उस प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करने के लिए, तो डिजाइनर के पास क्लाइंट भी होंगे जो प्रॉब्लम दे रहे हैं हम लोगों को। तो क्लाइंट के साथ हम लोगों को बैठना है, एंड वी नीड टू, विथ म्यूचुअल डिस्कशन, वी विल गेट टू नो अबाउट व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम ऑल अबाउट। प्रॉब्लम क्या है, किस प्रकार आप सॉल्व करना चाहते हैं। तो मैं उदाहरण दे रहा था कि अगर कोई भी अगर एग्जांपल उठा लें, मानिए कि वी आर डिजाइनिंग अ लोगो फॉर एनी रॉयल एस्टेट, or maybe for any educational institution, right? For any college. So we need to sit with the governing body, or we need to sit with the people, and we need to establish that कि आप अपने कॉलेज के लिए, इंस्टीट्यूशन के लिए किस प्रकार, क्या क्या आपके मोटिव्स हैं, क्या क्या आपके इंस्पिरेशंस हैं, और क्या क्या आपके ओवरऑल थॉट्स हैं जो कि आप लोगों में चाह रहे हैं। यू नीड एनी काइंड ऑफ विजुअल्स, और यू नीड एनी काइंड ऑफ, while whether it's going to be alphabetical, means type based logo, or whether you want to add any visual object to it. So these are the few things that you need to, while gather information from your client, and then afterwards you need to sit and you need to, well, check that whether you manage to get all necessary information related with that problem, related with that project. And then afterwards, you need to uh, ask yourself that whether you can manage client expectation. आपके पास वो नेसेसरी इंफॉर्मेशन है, आखिरकार आपको पता चल गया कि आपको क्या करना है, लोगों को क्या ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट बनाना है, whether this is going to be full color version, whether they want to, well, create through embroidery, or they are just going to use for branding purpose, or whether they are going to use for their flags or other implementations in different branding stages. So you need to clarify all those questions, and then afterwards you need to go ahead with the research one. So पहले आप तो ये डिफाइन कर रही है कि आप आखिरकार आपको करना क्या है, आपको डिजाइन करना है कि लोगो जो कि एक एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशंस के लिए है, and the educational institution have a kind of series of mottos and series of objectives, and on the basis of the objectives in the ideation stage we'll try to ideate कि उनके ये mottos and objectives हैं, on the basis of that you are going to design any logo, right? And afterwards you need to decide that whether the logo needs to be kind of black and white or color version, or you want to give any kind of specific object. They want any specific object for that, for the knowledge or for the empowerment. They want any specific object to put in our logo कि लोग कोई any specific अपना कोई पसंद है जो हम लोग अपने डिजाइन में इंप्लीमेंट करने वाले हैं. So this is the defined stage. We need to first of all clarify what's the need of the client, and then the next is research. So now we need to well do a little bit research. अगर हम लोगों के पास पहले हम लोग we have done the same project, हम लोग अगर we have well designed any logo for any particular university or the college, then we need to pull up all the research work and what are the things that goes well and what are the things that, well, uh, went off. So we need to consider that one. And afterwards, I have, well, divided into two parts. That is, one is primary research and another one is secondary research. So primary research is generally feedback generated during the learning phase, and secondary research में क्या होता है कि we gather informations. There are many kind of demographic backgrounds and performance of the given market segment. So we need to gather some information कि उनके same college, those who are providing, suppose they are providing courses related with technology. So technology related जो जितने भी colleges हैं, मानिए कि we are designing a college for state उत्तर प्रदेश में कितनी जितने colleges हैं that they are providing knowledge related with technology, उनके logos कैसे हैं. Now there should be a unified, a total different design from our side, right? So for that we need to do a little research, and afterwards we'll go to the next stage, that is ideate stage. Okay, is it fine or still you have any confusion?
Yes, sir. Clear.
So any question? Anybody else? No? Okay, fine. So so ideate stage mein there are many steps, or there are many options how we in general do ideation. So you can see that inspiration and references here. So it's kind of creative people. Most of the time we draw inspirations from our some of the pioneers work. So अगर हम लोग कोई product design कर रहे हैं तो we sometime we Google and we go to different design books and we go to with different design format, existing क्या क्या designs हैं. So we take inspiration. So inspiration is also essential in any creative activity. So in general, obviously, work of the other people in the field, past and also the contemporary period, it give us provide a creative stimulation. So inspiration is also very much important during ideate stage. And another one is sketching. Sketching में हम लोग क्या करते हैं? We try to come up with some scribbles and we try to give a form that actually होना क्या है. अगर you are designing for any, suppose, YouTube channel, if you want to launch one YouTube channel which which will be based on cooking recipes of different our cuisine, right? So we need to ideate through sketching कि हम लोगों के क्या क्या कुकिंग चैनल में किस प्रकार कैसे फ्रेम्स हम लोग लेंगे, whether we are going to take top view or whether we want to take closer view of particular recipe making. So in this way we need to do a mind mapping through sketching. So sketching is also one method when you used to ideate any design process. Next is brainstorming. Brainstorming is obviously a
सर
creative
माइंड
thing.
मैपिंग को स्केचिंग कहते हैं?
Mind mapping is not exactly sketching. Mind mapping means suppose हम लोग we used to come up with some solutions. मानिए कि हम लोग बैठ रहे हैं एक साथ and आप मैं और चार पांच जन मिलकर it's a group, it's kind of brainstorming where we comes up with different solutions and we write our solutions or like write our ideas in one sticky notes, and then we in general what's in your mind we used to do a mind map. हम लोग
विक्रम,
mind map. हाँ जी सर.
विक्रम,
हाँ जी सर.
चैट बॉक्स में एक लिंक गया है, उसमें सभी बच्चों से बोल दो कि वो अपना अटेंडेंस भी लगा देंगे उसी में.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Okay. I think there is one link and you need to write your name so that marked present for this session.
सर
हाँ जी.
सर नेम लिख देंगे, फिर उसके बाद अटेंडेंस में क्या लिखूंगा? प्रेजेंट या
हाँ,
अटेंडेंस
present,
तो
present.
ऑब्वियसली प्रेजेंट ही
Yes,
होती है.
yes, present.
ठीक है, ओके सर.
Okay. तो हाँ मैं कहा था कि माइंड मैपिंग इन जनरल क्या होता है कि हम लोगों के आइडियाज को हम लोग एक साथ लाते हैं. ग्रुप एक्टिविटीज ऑल्सो वी कॉल ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग. थ्रू ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग वी इन जनरल वी यूज टू come up with different ideas and we discuss with each other and we used to create one map. Maybe we use whiteboard or maybe we use some sticky notes and we used to create one mind map where we come up with different ideas from each of the members of the particular group, and then we kind of include something, we exclude something, and afterwards kuch hata diye kuch rakhe, and then afterwards we make it a little concretized, and then we finalize this is the thing that we want to step forward with, right? So this is in general mind mapping and brainstorming is where we in general we used to devote we come up with different creative approach, and then in general we mingle with each other, and afterwards we exclude and include the thing, and we come to final solution. This is all about the different ideation method, brainstorming or to sketching or to mind mapping. These are the few techniques through which in general we ideate we try to come up with any solution for any problem. Okay, so okay, this is all about ideation method, and now I'll just unshare my screen. So now tell me if you have any question related with the 7 process or the 7th step. Or shall I step forward? Because we have few more minutes to end this session. So it's all about creative thinking. So for every creative thinking, we need to follow a process. There are many processes through which in general we try to solve any problem. So I explained 7 different process steps through which we go through, and this is we call design thinking. So any question?
सर डिजाइन थिंकिंग प्रोसेस को इम्प्लीमेंट करने के लिए बेसिकली हमारे पास कोई आइडिया होना चाहिए जिसे स्केच करके हम उसको सबसे पहले ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग आएगा कि स्केचिंग आएगा सर किसी
That's
आइडिया
why
जनरेशन में?
idea generation may obviously brainstorming. First of all, we need to brainstorm, right? So suppose we have, if it's a single project or it's a group project. So suppose it's a group project and we have 7 designers with us, our friends, our peers, right? We'll sit together And on the basis of the research, we have design brief in front of us. We know that what we are going to do. हम लोगों को पता है कि ये brief है, and we need to solve the problem. We have already identified the problem and we need to solve that. ठीक है? And then we have research. We have adequate information related with that particular problem. So for the solution in the ideate stage, we will sit together, we'll do brainstorming, we'll kind of come up with different ideas, and we'll try to do one mind map. We can create some sticky notes, or we can write some points. Suppose हम लोग एक ये डिजाइन इनोवेशन सेंटर के लिए हम लोग एक लोगो बना रहे हैं सपोज, ठीक है?
ओके
तो
सर
फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल डिजाइन इनोवेशन सेंटर के लिए अगर लोगो बना रहे हैं तो देन ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग में क्या होता है, सो हम लोग क्या करेंगे कि हम लोग बैठकर ये फाइंड आउट करने की कोशिश करें कि व्हाट इज डिजाइन, डिजाइन के लिए क्या क्या वर्ड्स है. लेट्स राइट अ सिंगल वर्ड डिजाइन के लिए क्या क्या होता है. डिजाइन मीन्स प्रॉब्लम, डिजाइन मीन्स सॉल्यूशंस, डिजाइन मीन्स प्रोसेस, डिजाइन मीन्स क्रिएटिविटी, design means thinking, design means thought, design is critical. So these are the few words that we have, right? Bunch of words, keywords. And then हम लोग फिर क्या करेंगे, this is a mind mapping. Brainstorming द्वारा हम लोग mind map कर रहे हैं, and then afterwards
ओके सर
हम लोग ये सामने हम लोगों के पास कुछ वर्ड्स हैं, मानिए कि 15 to 20 वर्ड्स हैं that define design. Design क्या है? And we are designing, we are trying to design a logo for design innovation center that deals with design, that deals with innovation. So design के हमारे 10 words हैं मानिए, okay? And now there is another word related with the organization, that is innovation. So what is innovation? So we can come up with different keywords. Innovation, for me, innovation means something abstract, something different, something new, something. Innovation means new discovery, right? So these are the keywords. So we'll write. हम लोगों के पास 10 keywords हैं that defines design. हम लोगों के पास 10 words हैं that define innovation. Now this is the brainstorming part. Now what we'll do, we'll exclude something. हम लोग कुछ कट करेंगे वर्ड जो हम लोगों को पसंद नहीं है. मानिए कि हम लोग डिजाइन से हम लोग कट कर दिए at least 7 words, we have only 3 words with us.
ओके
हम
सर
लोगों के पास 3 वर्ड्स हैं, और इनोवेशन भी हम लोगों के जो 10 कीवर्ड्स थे वो हम लोग 7 हटा दिए, वी हैव 3 वर्ड्स. तो डिजाइन के 3 हैं, इनोवेशंस के 3 वर्ड्स हैं. नाउ व्हाट वी विल डू, देयर इज वन in general we used to do with our students while designing any logo, that is, you know the word visual onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia मतलब जैसे कक्कू कक्कू क्या है कि ये कोई वर्ड नहीं है, पर it's the sound of the particular bird. So क्या है कि साउंड, जो साउंड वाला वर्ड होता है उसको हम लोग कहते हैं
सर इसी को मॉकअप बोलते हैं सर, मॉकअप.
नहीं, मॉकअप नहीं. मॉकअप इज प्रोटोटाइप. मॉकअप इज टोटली डिफरेंट. मॉकअप इज प्रोटोटाइप. ओके, सो विजुअल
ओके सर
ऑनोमेटोपिया में क्या होता है कि वी ट्राई टू ड्रॉ दैट पर्टिकुलर वर्ड. तो अगर मानिए कि है कि प्रॉब्लम, अगर जस्ट सेकेंड, अगर मानिए कि प्रॉब्लम है, सो एक मिनट, सपोज हम लोगों के पास है द वर्ड प्रॉब्लम. डिजाइन से हम लोग 3 वर्ड्स लिए हैं, एक वर्ड है प्रॉब्लम. नाउ वी विल ट्राई टू डू अ विजुअल ऑनोमेटोपिया. विजुअल ऑनोमेटोपिया में क्या आगे स्केचिंग पार्ट आ जाएंगे. तो मेरे लिए if so this is the way or exercise when we used to come up with any logo or any visuals, right? तो हम लोगों को अभी क्या करना है, 3 वर्ड्स हैं हम लोगों के पास. एक है प्रॉब्लम, एक है सोल्यूशन, और एक है मानिए प्रोसेस. ये 3 वर्ड्स हम लोग सिलेक्ट किए फॉर डिजाइन. सो नाउ वी नीड टू ड्रॉ द वर्ड प्रॉब्लम. प्रॉब्लम हम कैसे हो, तो मैं प्रॉब्लम को मैं ऐसे ड्रॉ किया हूं. दिस इज काइंड ऑफ, ये प्रॉब्लम है बहुत ही जटिल. इट्स अ काइंड ऑफ बुलबुलैया. इट्स अ प्रॉब्लम फॉर मी. दिस इज प्रॉब्लम. दिस इज माय स्केच. Through visual onomatopoeia, I came up with this problem, right?
राइट
And afterwards, for innovation also, we will draw 3 words, and afterwards we'll mingle 6 word in one visual. And maybe afterwards we came up with, we can maybe come up with one visual that define the logo of Design Innovation Center. And Design Innovation Center, जो in short हम लोग कहते हैं DIC, और DIC के बाहर we are implementing this one. ये वाला that the same thing that we drew for the problem, right? Problem के लिए हम लोग जो वो sketch किए थे वही हम लोग implement कर रहे हैं DIC लोगों के लिए. Simple we are using say 3 letters with one scribble, and for that it's a kind of problem solving towards the problem. We are trying to solve problem, right? We are trying to come up with some solutions. So DIC Design Innovation Center is all about solving problem. So वो जो problem मैं sketch बनाया था that I include in my, it's just a simple example. ये obviously बहुत ही rough एक initial example मैं आपको दे रहा हूँ कि in this way in general we used to implement our sketching. In general we used to implement all those ideation in our design process in the ideation step, in the ideation stage. ठीक है जी?
Got it, sir. Got it.
हाँ जी, हाँ जी. So in this way we do different kind of brainstorming, and afterwards we exclude, कुछ हम लोग हटा देते हैं, कुछ हम लोग रखते हैं, and then afterwards उसको refine करते हैं, इसको और refine किया जाए. एक ड्राइंग है हम लोगों के पास, उसको और रिफाइन किया जाए, उसमें थोड़ा ऐड डिटेल करना. हम लोग रिफाइन किस प्रकार कर सकते हैं? हम लोग समटाइम्स वी ओमिट डिटेल, हम लोग थोड़ा बहुत डिटेल हटा देते हैं, एक बहुत ही स्मार्ट और मॉडर्न लुक देते हैं. Modern itself is a very controversial word. Means modern, it doesn't mean that we are omitting the detail. It means a very smart look. Smart in the sense we are trying to represent less detailed work, and we are trying to come up with very modern approach. So these are the few steps, and there are many steps in ideation method. But in this session overall, I'm trying to give you a feel of 7 stages, and in general what we do during the whole design thinking process, or the design thinking, what are the different stages. So we have to go through with different 7 stages in design thinking. This is we call design thinking. ठीक है ना? So any further question? No?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. So at last, obviously, just a second. Okay. तो मैं अभी आप लोगों को एक simple, I'll take 5 more minutes to conclude this session. So I'll explain you. There is a, हम लोग एक colloquial term है, the chemical locha in our mind. So
Sir, एक query थी.
हाँ जी, हाँ जी, हाँ जी.
So basically, what is the difference between mock-up and prototype? They are both are different or the same?
Same. Mock-up and prototype both are same.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so prototype and mock-up means prototype is mock-up. Means suppose we want to design a car, then this is our mock-up, this is our prototype. So we use some maybe cardboards or whiteboards, and we are trying to come up, give the shape, or we're using thermocol to give that shape. Suppose this bottle. So bottle design से पहले हम लोगों को एक मॉकअप बनाना होगा कि इसका बेस कितना होगा, हाउ वी कैन होल्ड इट, इसमें ग्रिप है क्या, कैन वी होल्ड दिस बॉटल प्रॉपरली, और इफ यू
Yes,
वांट
sir.
टू ओपन दिस कैप, ढक्कन अगर खोलना है, देयर शुड बी दिस, एंड वेदर दिस सपोर्ट्स अवर थंब, क्योंकि हम लोग थंब से खोलेंगे. सो the whole size of this portion, particular part, needs to be a little kind of broader so that we can easily open it with our thumb. So ये mockup और prototype में पता चलता है. It's not possible when we come up with any sketches. Sketches में ये पता नहीं चलता. But when we have mockup, then we can easily hold it. We can feel it. Yeah, this is going to be overall shape of the bottle, and this is the ribbon where we can hold it like this. So and we can open it easily, and we can drink water. So this
Okay, sir.
is overall why mock-up and prototype is important. So because it is tactile in nature, we can touch it, we can feel it, we can feel that, yeah, this is the size. So if I close my eyes, and we can touch it, and we can feel that, yeah, this is the diameter, this is the length, and this is the maybe sometime the tactileness of the particular material. This is very glossy, this is little grained plastic material. So in this way, mock-up or prototype fulfills that, yeah, what will be the 3D look or the physical look of your ideation, right? So this is all about mock-up and prototype. Acha, quickly I am to share my screen again. I'll take 5 more minutes. हाँ, जो मैं कह रहा था कि about chemical lochas and all. So this one is a book called Creative Process, and this is one class activity, and we're just trying to that time
it's great fun to see your imagination.
And I produced
what is creative process. This is an illustrative presentation by one of my students. So what is creative process? So a creative individual is influenced by a range of personality characteristics when solving a design problem. So there are many different personal characteristics, and we divide our brain into different parts. There are many levels: conscious, subconscious, and unconscious. So while creative thinking here, this capacity for intellectual analysis, accumulated perpetual awareness, and ability to synthesize the element of a problem into an idea, and also its emotional responses. So this is, it sounds very critical. Let's go to the next one, and I'll try to explain more briefly. So there are 3 stages, or I can say chambers in our mind. One is conscious level, one is pre-conscious level, and another one is unconscious level. Okay, so conscious level क्या है कि जैसे अभी consciously we are trying to learn something. हम लोग सभी कंप्यूटर के सामने या मोबाइल के सामने बैठे हैं, and we are trying to learn something. This is a conscious level where everything is logical and rational thinking. We are trying to think rationally, right? Logical, कुछ logical हो रहा है. Unconscious में क्या हो रहा है कि it's a deep seated and it's totally based on the experiences. पहले हम लोग किए थे, and on the basis of that we are just trying to think something. That is unconscious, and pre-conscious is a bridge between conscious and unconscious. Still it sounds critical. Okay, मैं और clear करने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ. Let's go to the next stage. Okay, so this is step 1. क्या होता है कि if we consider conscious, unconscious and pre-conscious, तो पहले हम लोग क्या कोशिश करते हैं कि here it comes the analysis. हम लोग क्या करते हैं कि it takes place mostly in the conscious level of mind. हम लोग जब conscious level of mind जब रहते हैं, तब हम लोग कोशिश करते हैं कि कुछ रैशनल सोचने के लिए, कुछ लॉजिकल सोचने के लिए. मानिए कि हम लोग अभी जो कंप्यूटर के सामने बैठे हैं, या हम लोग मानिए कि एक टाइम है कि या फ्रॉम 9 to 4 यू विल थिंक something rational and logical about the particular design, right? So here an experienced designer know that more research needs to be done and should be combined with already absorbed informations and to form a foundation for a creative solution. मैं जो आपको बता रहा था कि पहले we need to define, and then we need to do research, and then we do ideation. So this is overall, all these stages happen in conscious mind, conscious level of mind. And then if I go to the next one, this is incubation. What is incubation? इसमें क्या होता है कि suppose we are listening to any music, or we are watching any movie or something. क्या होता है कि here the designer detach himself from the problem but allows his pre-conscious to work. तो ये प्री कॉन्शियसली हम लोग क्या करते हैं कि जो कॉन्शियस लेवल में हम लोग बहुत ही कॉन्शियसली हम लोग जो रैशनली हम लोग सोच रहे थे, ये मानिए कि कोई भी म्यूजिक में सुन रहा हूँ, तो इसमें क्या होता है कि प्री कॉन्शियसली दिस फेज इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, बिकॉज हियर all the kind of innovation and creative thing occur during this point of time. So all these psychologists, they said that during the pre-conscious level of mind, during this period, all the creative conscious involvement happens, and also the innovative and creative things happen. And afterwards, if we go to the next one, here's the inspiration, that obviously we take inspiration from different artists with the existing design, and here it's insight, imagination, and intuition, which combines the whole well kind of initial rational analysis to arrive at a design process. So this is the, I can say, the third step is the inspiration level. So this is about the mechanism of our mind, but yeah, the overall 7 stages work, still working in this conscious, pre-conscious, and unconscious level of mind. So yeah, this is all about design thinking and way how we think in different stages of mind, whether it's conscious or whether we are unconscious. हम लोग ऐसा होता है कि कभी कभार कुछ आइडियाज हम लोगों को आते हैं जब हम लोग शायद दोस्तों के साथ बात करते हैं या when we used to listen any music. पूरे दिन हम लोग शायद स्केचबुक के साथ या लैपटॉप के सामने हम लोग बिताते हैं to come up with some ideas to solve that problem. हम लोग कोशिश करते हैं कुछ डिजाइन करने के लिए, but maybe at the end of the day when we are trying to listen any music, प्रीकॉन्शियसली हम लोगों के पास वो कुछ सॉल्यूशन के साथ आ जाता है. वी देन डायरेक्टली क्लिक, या दिस इज द काइंड ऑफ क्रिएटिव अप्रोच और क्रिएटिव थिंग दैट वी आर लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड विद. So yeah, this is all about design thinking and the way how we used to think critically and in different manner. So I hope that's pretty clear to all of you. I'll close the session. If you have any question, please raise your hand or you can just unmute yourself. You can ask question.
सर एक और क्वेरी थी.
हाँ जी, हाँ जी.
सर व्हाट इज द वायर फ्रेमिंग?
Wireframing is related with the web design or application design. Wireframing में हम लोग define करते हैं positions of where we want to keep our title banner, and then where will be the buttons, and then afterwards this will be the information desk, or this is the burger menu in any application. So wireframing is related with web designing and application designing. Maybe we have Ankit Srivastava with us. He's web developer. Maybe we can conduct one session with him and he can explain more about wireframing.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir, so much.
So, any further questions? ठीक है, चलिए then let's end the session. So overall, now if we have problem with this, then to find the solution we need to follow 7 steps. Yes, Anjali, you want to say something?
Yeah, sure. Can you tell how to do research?
Sorry?
What steps should I take to do research in any field, like before launching our product? So,
Actually, Anjali, you're not audible. Means some glitches. Your voice is a little muffled. Could you little bit be louder? Can you just hold your microphone near your mouth and?
hello.
Yeah, I
Audible
can
now?
hear you. Yeah, you're audible, but in low.
Sir,
Your
I
voice
want
is
to
really.
know that what process we should take to do research. Means before launching any product, I have to do research. I have to understand people mind. Then how I can do that?
Yeah. So research, the step research is very big one. It's not possible to explain the whole process in this short session. Maybe we can keep an individual session for each step for ideation or for research. But overall, I can give you I can actually explain you briefly that what is basically research for any product. If you want to launch any product, so before that we need to do research, right? So it's obviously the second step. First of all, we need to define and then we need to do research. So first of all, we should know about what will be the product is all about. And then the research part, we need to do research about that particular product, not only about the product, about the whole market. अगर मानिए कि मैं एक बच्चों के लिए एक कोई बिस्किट प्रोडक्ट बिस्किट में लॉन्च करना चाह रहा हूँ, बिस्किट, right? Now what is our USP, or we can say uniqueness in our product, कि हम लोग वो biscuits को different animals और क्रिएचर के शेप्स दे रहे हैं, maybe elephant or maybe camel or tiger. So we are trying to create different shape of various animals and creatures, and we'll put it one very pop out and very kind of attractive packet, and this is maybe our product, right? So now in the research part, so this is the brief. First of all, we receive the brief. हम लोगों को क्या करना है, हम लोग एक बिस्किट जो हम लोग निकालने वाले हैं एंड जो प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च करने वाले हैं, और बिस्किट क्या है कि इट्स नॉट लाइक एनी मैरीगोल्ड और एनी टिपिकल सनफीस्ट वाला गोल बिस्किट नहीं है। ये बिस्किट के डिफरेंट शेप्स हैं, एनिमल वाला शेप्स हैं, और हम लोग एक छोटे से पैकेट होंगे और उस पैकेट में हम लोग वो बिस्किट्स डालने वाले हैं। इट्स फॉर द किड्स। Now, in the research part, obviously we have the group of audience, target audience कि ये बच्चे हैं, कौन से ईयर के बच्चे हैं, कौन से स्टेजेस हैं, हम लोग लेबल्स कहते हैं in terms of it's a kind of very technical term, the labels when we decide or talk about the age group कि ये for the kids of 5 years to 12 years, suppose mostly we focus to 5 to 12 years in age group के लिए बिस्किट हम लोग बना रहे हैं, ये प्रोडक्ट हम लोग लॉन्च करने वाले हैं। तो ये कब आएगा, ये जो एज ग्रुप हम लोग डिसाइड किए, इट विल कम इन द डिफाइन स्टेज। फर्स्ट स्टेप ऑफ डिजाइन थिंकिंग, आइडिएट में हम लोग, डिफाइन में हम लोग ये डिसाइड कर लिए कि दिस इज गोइंग टू बी द एज ग्रुप ऑफ योर ऑडियंस, राइट। रिसर्च में अभी क्या करना है कि हम लोगों को अभी मैं आज के सेशन में रिसर्च को दो भाग में डिवाइड किया हूँ। पहला है कि प्राइमरी रिसर्च, दूसरा है कि सेकेंडरी रिसर्च, ठीक है ना। तो प्राइमरी रिसर्च में क्या है कि हम लोग वी हैव डन एनी प्रायर वर्क मींस एनी प्रोजेक्ट रिलेटेड विद दिस बिस्किट्स, हम लोग क्या पहले काम किए हैं। सपोज मैं काम किया हूँ, मानिए कि लिटिल हर्ट्स, एक हर्ट शेप का बिस्किट्स आते हैं, वो मैंने पहले किया हूँ। दिस इज आवर पास्ट प्रोजेक्ट। सो दिस विल कंसिडर हियर कि लिटिल हर्ट वो भी छोटे छोटे शेप्स के थे, एंड वी हैव अ वेरी गोल्डन पॉपिंग packaging design for that. So what are the what goes well and what went जो down गया, so we need to consider all those. This comes under primary research. Secondary research में हम लोग क्या करना है कि we need to gather more information कि वो जो एनिमल वाला जो बिस्किट है वैसा क्या और भी ब्रांड और कंपनीज बनाते हैं वैसे प्रोडक्ट, अगर बनाते हैं तो उनके पैकेजिंग कैसे हैं, उनके टारगेट ऑडियंस स्पेसिफिकली क्या है, उनके ब्रांड को प्रमोट करने के लिए वो कोई ब्रांड एंडोर्सर, मतलब कोई ब्रांड के लिए कोई एंडोर्स करने वाले कोई सेलिब्रिटी वो लोग एम्बेसडर को हायर किए हैं क्या नहीं। इफ दे हैव हायर्ड और इफ दे वांट टू प्रमोट देयर प्रोडक्ट, दे आर गिविंग एनी स्पेशल ऑफर फॉर दैट, वो लोग कुछ टॉयज या गिफ्ट फ्री दे रहे हैं क्या प्रोडक्ट के साथ। सो दिस आर दी थिंग्स दैट वी विल while consider and try to gather all necessary information in the research period, in this research stage. हम लोगों के पास सब informations आ गए हैं, ये this is the thing, and mostly we are going to launch this product in the उत्तर प्रदेश नोएडा पार्ट, दिल्ली, थोड़ा बहुत बिहार यूपी साइड, एंड मोस्टली ईस्ट वेस्ट बंगाल तक जाएंगे, बट नॉट महाराष्ट्र भी नहीं करेंगे। तो हम लोग ओवरऑल देख लिए कि ये दिस इज दी ओवरऑल डेमोग्राफिकल एरिया, जोग्राफिकल एरिया, एंड देन बच्चे ये क्या कॉस्टिंग है, ये 10 रुपए या 20 रुपीज के हैं, 20 रुपीज से क्या 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 और प्रोडक्ट्स हैं बिस्किट्स रिलेटेड, वेफर्स रिलेटेड क्या क्या हैं। तो this should be in our list, right? And then this is a part of research work. So in every agency there is a dedicated team, and afterwards in the research we also do different field visits. We also publish different questionnaire कि अगर ऐसा अगर हो तो आप क्या देखना चाहते हैं, अगर ऐसा बिस्किट्स हो, आपको ये ब्रांड है, इसमें से कौन सा आपको पसंद है, आपको क्या वो लिटिल हर्ट्स पसंद है या आपको बर्बन पसंद है, चॉकलेट फ्लेवर पसंद है। So in this way we in general we prepare many questionnaire, and we used to while kind of take different interviews, and we used to publish different Google online Google form or maybe printable questionnaires to different people, and then we used to get all the answers, and on the basis of that we create data chart tabulation karte hain, and then हम लोग डिसाइड करते कि हाँ 72% चाहते हैं कि किड्स दे लाइक chocolate wala flavor. So now we have decided, yeah, now we want to stick with the chocolate flavor. So in this way, this is overall research stage, and these are the few activities that in general we do in research stage. ठीक है जी? शायद मैं आपका आंसर दे पाया. Fine.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
तो वो क्या डिस्कस हो गई? Okay, fine. ठीक है. Okay then. So thank you very much for attending this session. Hope I managed to clarify or discuss the topic related with design thinking, and hope I'll see you again. So bye bye. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Vikram sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Sir, है क्या?
Yes, I am here. I am here.
Okay, so we have concluded our session, sir.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Vikram, and lots of thanks to you for your valuable input related with the design thinking and critical thinking process. और मुझे पूरी उम्मीद है कि जो भी पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं उन्होंने सारी चीजों को बहुत अच्छे से समझने का प्रयास किया होगा और कुछ प्रैक्टिकल एक्सपेरिमेंट के साथ जो भी बताया गया उसको करेंगे, इससे कि जब कोई ये कल को बिजनेस अपना शुरू करने का प्रयास करेंगे या कुछ भी इस इनोवेशन से रिलेटेड चीजों पे आएंगे तो इनको बहुत कुछ सीखने समझने को मिलेगा. आप सभी का बहुत बहुत फिर से धन्यवाद और हम लोग 3 बजे फिर मिलेंगे डॉक्टर उदीप्ति जायसवाल के साथ जो कॉलेज ऑफ आर्ट दिल्ली में है और वो भी कुछ इसी के कंटिन्यूएशन में आप लोगों को आगे बढ़ाएंगी. आप सभी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. सभी से रिक्वेस्ट है कि इस तरीके के इवेंट में मैक्सिमम पार्टिसिपेट किया कीजिए और साथ ही साथ मैक्सिमम लोगों तो इसको सोशल मीडिया के थ्रू फ्लैश किया कीजिए, लोगों को अवेयर कीजिए, चाहे वो बीएचयू के बच्चे हो चाहे हमारे आसपास के हों, इससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. हम एक नॉलेज डोमेन में है, हम नॉलेज लोगों को दे रहे हैं, जो हमारे पास है वो एक्सपीरियंस और शेयर बेसिस पर जितना लोगों तक पहुंचे उसको अच्छा रहे. थैंक यू विक्रम वंस अगेन टू यू फॉर योर वैल्यूएबल प्रेजेंटेशन. थैंक यू पार्टिसिपेंट्स.